I've just realized now the goal was never to become rich. The purpose or the reason that I was born from day one was never to become rich and flashy and all that. My purpose was very different from day one. I just got distracted by social media and looking at other people achievement and all those stuff. I just before I even get in the whole details, I just want to share a story with you guys that happened to me when I was probably probably 11 years old. So for those who don't know, I was raised by my grandmother alone at a township. So I went to local schools schools nearby me. I was so it was a walking distance. So my grandmother used to earn um, pension. That's how he used to support us in my pension. So there was this one time when my grandmother used to go to the doctor, go take some medication, because she suffered a lot from diabetes. So I had to go to school. So me going to school, my grandmother didn't have like money for for me to actually carry, like pocket money and all those stuff. So please bear with me if I get in tears when I talk about this story. So he didn't have money for me um, to to carry for food and all those stuff during lunchtime. So um, in local schools where we call it malfunction, so they are like there's like food whereby niyadla yabo. So on that day, unfortunately, they did something that I don't like istam yabo. So babepheka istam that time. So and I'm not a fan of istam up until today. I just don't like it. There's nothing. I just don't like the food. So I couldn't eat. So I didn't eat in the morning because I was late for school and I couldn't eat in lunchtime. So it was time for me to actually go back home, knowing that very well that my grandmother, I'm not gonna find my grandmother home. It was like a bit of like, oh, ngizofika ngidle mengifika endlini. And also, when I came back home, my grandmother left the key at our neighbors, and then I took the key and then I opened. And then when I went to the kitchen, I found my grandmother has created her own homemade amakwini, fat cookies, and he made some fried chips, and he made some sausage rolls. I don't know where she got those sausage rolls, and she's made that meal. And I was hungry as hell, you know. And I got back and I was like, yo, like I still remember there were like four of those cookies, man. And then I ate them like crazy. It's almost like it was a competition. I ate Lama Queen. And I literally, I know this might sound crazy, but I literally remember how they taste up until today. How it felt like me coming back from school, finding that there's food in a table for me, you know. I still remember how delicious those fried chips were. How amakunya landing at home. It's like probably the best meal I've ever eaten. I've eaten in so many restaurants, but so many. Like I still remember the feeling. The feeling is something that will never fade away from me. The feeling was so amazing coming back. And now that I've grown and became more matured, more of a businessman, more of a hustler, you know, I realized my grandmother's my grandmother actually did his role. Like his purpose on this planet Earth was done. And what is my purpose? Like, umupho wami umsebenzi kumele ngwenze. Because my grandmother come from the apartheid area, ngesikhathi sengcindezelo. So he didn't have so many opportunities that we have. He didn't have the same technology. She didn't have a lot, but he raised us in such a way that we get education. Yeah. Sakereza, and we finish school. So that was her goal, and she finished that goal. So I realized I've been looking this thing completely wrong. I thought my goal was to be rich, have fancy cars, have fancy apartment, live a flashy life. That was never my goal. That's why whenever I always try for those things, it just never happened. Even if it happened, it never lasts. It's something that is I've realized this is not my purpose. Whenever I go for like target those things, it just never work out for me. It's just never work out for me, cause that's not my goal. That's what my ancestors actually guide me or are looking me to actually accomplish in this goal. My goal is different. My goal is different. The whole reason that I was born from the beginning was to actually break the curse. That's the whole reason, is to break the curse. That's the whole goal, is to break my family curse. That's why my ancestors prayed for me to be in this earth. That's why God created me, to break the curse. So I was thinking, what if I create the same feeling to the next upcoming generation of my family, the same feeling that I had when my grandmother created Amagwinya, no Polun, like create the same feeling but differently. When I say differently, why if I create generational wealth whereby the upcoming generation don't need to go, like don't have to went through what I went through to actually achieve things, to get things, because I need to work everything from scratch. Like I need to hustle very hard because I am starting on a curse. Everything is hard for me, and I understand now that I've gotten older. Like when I see other people um, bypass me by success, become more successful but started late. When someone say they started Forex 2021 but they are more successful than me, it doesn't bother me anymore. Like it used to like affect me. Like this person started later than me but he's more successful. I used to ask myself like what am I doing wrong? But now everything makes sense. That why for them it's easy and why it's hard for me. Everything that I need to achieve, it's very hard because this is a curse that I'm working on. It's a curse. I have to. Everything that I have, I am the first. If you are one of those people where everything that you have achieved in your life, like you are the first one to achieve it. Like I am the first one in my family to actually pass matric. Like true story. I'm the first one to actually be employed. I was the first one to actually show someone that it is possible for uh, family individuals to actually be employed. I'm the first one in my family to actually start his own business. I'm the first one to have a black card. I'm the first one to I'm the first one to do so many things. So many things, like I am the first. Like it's almost like there's a door. I just need to kick that door. To kick that door in order for other people to actually enter that door. Because in all these things I am the first, you know. So for the next upcoming generation, like now that I've broken that door, for the upcoming generation, it becomes a bit easier because they have saw that, oh, it is possible because Anda has done it before. Now it is possible, like they are like my siblings and my sisters and all those upcoming generation. It's becoming easier for them to actually achieve these things. Like now there's a lot of people who have metrics, who pass metric. There are people that are going to college now, you know, because they saw, oh, it is possible for our family to actually pass metric, you know. Now they are getting driver's license because they've saw, okay, it is possible for our family members to actually have their own vehicles, you know, because they've saw it on me, but I didn't saw it on anyone. No one actually had like a blueprint for me where I'm just gonna copy and paste, just do what they do. I didn't have someone that I look up to. Someone was a father figure, you know, someone that I said, okay, when I've become a man, I would love to be like this person. I would like to be like this. Lori time and how the cause of like he those guys only there know how he lives and all those stuff. Everything I have to everything I have to build brick by brick, you know, brick by brick, and I've accepted it, and that is my calling in this world. One of the haters said to me, like I saw on Facebook, one of the haters said to me, Anda is broke as whatever. Like I don't want to use the F word, you know. He looks, and I was so excited because at the beginning, some people could have gotten offended by that, but for me, it didn't break me. I felt like, okay, now I'm on the right path, you know, because in most of my career, most of the time, I was so obsessed with looking rich. Like I was so obsessed. Like if you look at my old back photos, you will see that I was so obsessed with looking rich. Like having black cars, having a lot of cars, like being in fancy places, checking in on restaurants, being on nights, like wearing designer clothes. That was so obsessed, and that was poverty trauma. I was in a dark place. I didn't knew back then. I thought I was doing something right, but now that I've grown and outgrown myself, I've realized, oh man, I was actually on a dark place at this point. It was a poverty trauma. For those who don't know poverty trauma, what is poverty trauma? Is when you want to prove that you are no longer poor. For people who don't care, you just want to make yourself suffer to show people that you are no longer poor. Like I don't know what the whole purpose around poverty trauma, but you always want to prove that you are up when you are not up. Like me having a black heart was me just trying to show, like I don't know if it was feeding my ego, or I just wanted to prove to people that I'm up now, you know. I'm winning now, you know. I was so obsessed with that. But thank God I've actually outgrowing those things. So when people say I'm looking broke, I'm so excited because right now I'm literally at the prime. I'm making more money than I ever made when I had more cars. Now I am more free mentally because I haven't set standard for myself. You know, I can be employed and I can tell people that I am employed and I'm still mentoring people. And no one will probably make a video and say I fall off because of I've never created standard for myself. There is no standard. I've never set standard, and there's no video when I said I am a millionaire or I portrayed it to people that I am living a life. You know, I don't set standard for myself. I don't, because I've outgrown those things. So as I was saying, is that would it be nice if I create that feeling for the upcoming generation, like for my kids, if I have kids in future, or for my sibling, or for my family, to create generational wealth. For the fact that my grandmother was able to think of me when she was going to the clinic and decide to create food for me, you know, was something, it's the feeling that I still have and I'll cherish it for the rest of my life. So if I could create that feeling for my family, I think I will literally fulfill my purpose. If I will make my family not suffer, be able to make money when I'm no longer in this world, I think I'll literally be happy. So right now, the whole goal is not to become rich, but to create generational wealth. You know, there are so many things that I'm working on. You know, and I'm not gonna buy a car anytime soon. You know, so just know if it happens that if I decide to buy a car, just know that I'm making crazy money now. Like when I'm making crazy money and then I don't know what to do with it. I've invested so much. Now this money is left in the bank. That is when I'll be buying a car. But for now, I'm just investing, like investing, and I don't want to get into too deep because I don't want to be a procrastinator where I'm saying things and I'm not fulfilling them, you know. So I'm gonna show you the work I'm working on, and it's generational wealth. It's something that I'll be working. Like I know that when I'm no longer, obviously it's property because I know you guys are smart and you're not dumb. Obviously it's property. I'm working on that, like getting property, buying land, and that's the my goal for now. Like creating generational wealth. I don't care how people see me anymore. Like I don't care if you think I'm broke, I'm broke. If you see me in a taxi, you see me in a taxi, my car is dead. Uh, I don't care. I don't care even if they don't. I don't care. Like I don't. Honestly, I just wanna fulfill my purpose. I just want the upcoming generation to have a better foundation than I had. My foundation was horrible. Like I have to start things from scratch. At least they'll be able to actually have food on the table. Have you like guys? Have you ever saw like Ghost Luby? Like Ghost Luby. Uh, Ghost Luby when he did his video. Not now. Now he's too up. Like when he's doing his when if you go to YouTube and go to old videos of Ghost Luby, you see the videos that he did. Ghost Luby has a backup plan. Like her family is an educated family. My mother is a lawyer, father is a lawyer. They have a huge mansion, so they have a very nice. He has a very nice backup for him. Like if things don't go well for him, he knows that there will be food on the table and there'll be roof, not just any roof, estate's roof, not what you call squatter cam roof. No, he will have an estate roof. So if Goslubu buys a car, he decides to buy the car. He's not thinking of my sister needs to get a learners. My family needs to buy food. Now I need to do this. You know, even if he's renting all those things, he's no longer thinking of the people behind them. Like, cause he knows that they are covered, they are good. So any risk I take, it's just gonna be my risk. And even if it doesn't work out, I still have a backup plan. But for us, it's different, guys. You know, if this move doesn't work out, I have the entire family crying for me, saying what we're gonna eat, where we're gonna get our next meal. You know, so it's a whole different. You cannot live like Ghost Luby. You cannot unless you come from a very very good family. You know, so it's easy for him to move around to improve his content because of buying cars. You know, all those things that eye capturing content. You know, it's easy for him. You know, it's easy. So let's create the same the same environment for the upcoming generation, for our kids, for our family. You for everyone around us to actually know if they take this risk, it's not the end of the world. There is money in the family, there's cash flow, there is something that they can cry on. It's not the end of the world. This is not the end. Like, they don't need to. Let's create so much wealth. They don't need to go to our grave and cry and tell us they need luck, they need all those stuff. They'll just go to our grave and tell us that they miss us only, but they don't they don't need us for help or to guide them financially, open doors for them financially, because while we were still alive, we did our best to create generational wealth. So that's what my idea. So if you're still new to the video, if you watch this video until this point, make sure you like and subscribe. So bye for now.